Hey, it's Bharadwaj with Fonearena.com, and this is the video review of the Oppo N1. Initially believed to be a camera-centric device, the N1 turned out to be the company's all-rounder flagship that is on sale now, starting at $599 US. With the number of firsts like O-touch rear sensor and the rotating swivel camera, the Oppo N1 manages to stand out from the crowd. But is it enough to dethrone other Android flagships? Let's find out. The Oppo N1 is a phablet first and flagship second, and the design is a testament to that. It's big, like a phablet, but packs a lot of Oppo's new innovations. Predominantly made of metal, the N1 screams high quality, which we had expected from the company. A rigid aluminum frame holds the top and bottom parts together firmly, with the top or the front made of glass and plastic, while the back is made of metal that feels like ceramic to touch. While the build quality is unmatched, it does make the device slightly bulky. Measuring in at 9mm of thickness and a whopping 213 grams of measured weight, the Oppo N1 is big and bulky. It is as big as the Galaxy Mega 6.3, which has a bigger screen in a similarly sized body and is comically bigger than the iPhone XS. It's a huge phablet in every sense, and if you're not good with the idea of a bridge device between a phone and a tablet, the Oppo N1 might not be for you. But in case you're in the other camp, let us walk you through the hardware. The front is dominated by a sheet of Corning Gorilla Glass 3 with a high quality plastic frame around it. The display underneath the glass is flanked by capacitive buttons, home, back and menu at the bottom, and the rotating unit at the top. The front of this unit has the earpiece and the pair of ambient and proximity sensors, and it can rotate 206 degrees to the front to reveal the 13-megapixel camera with dual LED flash. Due to this, there is nothing on the top and makes the bottom crowded. You have the 3.5mm jack, the loudspeaker, the micro USB port and the primary microphone at the bottom. Over to the right we have the power and volume rocker buttons located in the bottom half, making it easier to reach. The left side houses the lone micro SIM slot. Over at the back, which is a beautifully crafted piece of metal, we have the back side of the rotating unit with the camera and the secondary microphone right above the Oppo logo. Right below the logo we have the O-touch rear sensor, a 12cm squared space where you can perform gestures. Well, more on that later. Let's talk about the display now. The N1 comes with a 5.9-inch Full HD display that might not match the Find Pi due to the lack of OGS, but is awesome on its own. It has good brightness levels in all the viewing angles and can output vibrant images. At 377 ppi, the display is crisp and has great color reproduction without any color casts or tinges in extreme angles. We just missed the deep blacks and floating icons that the Find Pi was so great at. The 13-megapixel camera sitting on the rotating unit has a Sony Exmor RS stacked CMOS sensor and a 6-element lens, which is one of the first on Android devices. The lens has an aperture of f2.0, which, along with completely custom ISPs, hopes to deliver great image quality. In our experience, it does. We took the camera for a spin in several lighting conditions and found it to perform great. The photos were detailed and sharp, HDR mode was fantastic, and low light photos turned out better than expected. It even has a long exposure mode, which we felt was a welcome addition to the N1, but the UI was too basic and lacked controls to manually tweak your scene, which is expected from a high-end phone that has a great camera. The video mode too is disappointing, with it not being able to deliver quality output. Our samples were jerky and lacked details, but at least the stereo audio was great. The video too has specialty modes like HDR and slow motion, but they don't work well enough to be a mention. Overall, we think it's a great stills camera, arguably one of the best 13-megapixel shooters out there, but lacks controls, proper metering and a poor video camera. The camera can also turn to the front to act as a great high-resolution front-facing camera, but it loses all the extra modes like HDR. It's great for selfies though, and the dual mode flash makes sure it's a soft glow with ambient light intact rather than just illuminating the face. In the end, we think we like that the camera can rotate to the front, makes for great self-group shots at least. Coming to internals, the Oppo N1 is powered by the slightly older Snapdragon 600 chipset. It has a 1.7 GHz quad-core processor and the graphics duties are handled by the Adreno 320 GPU. The processor is good enough for most tasks and games, but we feel the Snapdragon 800 should have been used here, for future-proof performance at least. We tried out some games and ran synthetic benchmarks, only to find that it's in the same league as other Snapdragon 600 devices, and it is not at all an issue for everyday performance. The device comes with 2 GB of RAM, out of which almost 60% of it is free on idle and fills up to 1.6 GB when heavily used. But in our experience, it was not a deterrent to the overall performance. We have the 16 GB version, out of which 9.8 GB is available for the user and about 2.5 GB for the apps. But there is no microSD expansion slot here, which might be a deal breaker for heavy media users. The phone is also stocked with all the usual connectivity options like NFC and Bluetooth 4.0, but lacks USB OTG. Talking of Bluetooth, Oppo has bundled a low-power Bluetooth accessory called O-Click with the box for free. It's a neat tiny device that can act as a remote shutter for the camera. Its notification LED can blink for the phone's calls and SMSs, and even act as an anti-lost alarm. It's a nice addition and works great. Lastly, we have the O-Touch rear sensor, which Oppo touts as an innovative addition for better one-handed usage. The rear sensor, which is a 12 cm squared area as we mentioned earlier on the back, lets you swipe in all directions in default as well as third-party apps, but surprisingly doesn't work in the default browser Chrome. You can also specify a custom app to open on a double tap. It started working well after a software update, but almost always came in the way of general usage. We found it best to use it just with the camera for taking front-facing shots, but switch it off otherwise. Coming to software, the Oppo N1 comes with a choice. The International Edition comes with Oppo's own ColorOS out of the box, but you also have the choice to install CyanogenMod, which is officially supported and allows easy installation thanks to the N1's unlocked bootloader and recovery support. The ColorOS, however, is based on Android 4.2.2 and comes with a lot of features. It looks great and performs well, and also provides a lot of customization options like themes and effects like live weather. It has specific full screen widgets too called spaces, like the music one which gets triggered when you pop in your headphones. But one thing we noted is that the OS and apps don't scale well for the screen. If it's a big screen, apps need to scale, but unfortunately the N1 doesn't, and Oppo needs to fix it. We hope they do. That aside, the best part of the OS is its gesture support. Surprisingly less gimmicky, we found ourselves regularly using it. Some of the best ones are activated when the phone is actually locked, like the famous double tap to wake. You can draw a circle to take you straight to the camera, draw a line with 2 fingers to pause or play a song, and even skip next or back with the greater than or lesser than sign. You can even draw a V to quickly open the flashlight, which we found to be so handy. Apart from a lot of these preset gestures, you can also set custom ones. The quick access for the custom gestures is to pull down the notification bar from the operator name, and you can perform gestures like these that we recently created. Pretty cool, right? The default apps too are well designed and work great, but we did miss the great audio features like Dolby and Dirac that made the Find Pi sound the best. Coming to battery life, the N1 is equipped with a 3610 mAh battery that can last really long. Even after heavy use, we found the battery to last more than a day with 4 hours of display on time. That's pretty impressive, and you can even prolong it by using the power saving options if needed. Overall, pretty awesome battery life on the Oppo N1. So, there is a lot going on for the Oppo N1. Remember we said it's a phablet first and a flagship second? That stays true. This is a really big device, and people looking at a decently sized flagship device might find it daunting. But then, very few devices are as well designed and built as the Oppo N1. It has a couple of firsts, like a rotating camera and the O-Touch rear sensor. While the rotating camera works great and is actually useful, we find the O-Touch less useful, but at least it was not gimmicky and it did work as advertised. The device also has a great display, decent performance, and one of the best cameras out there. But we do feel that the expansion and a newer processor could be offered, and more control for the camera too. On the software side, the ColorOS is brilliant with gestures, and the choice of CM is a boon for stock Android seekers, but we feel the screen is not used to full extent in terms of scaling. Oppo really has a great device if you are in the market for a phablet flagship. At $599 it's a great deal when compared to the Note 3 or a HTC One Max. But of course with compromises in stylus and an expansion slot, but makes up for it with CyanogenMod and the other features. Summarizing again, listed here are the pros and cons of this device. And that concludes our video review. Do check out our gigantic text review with a lot more details over at the blog. The links are in the description below. We hope you enjoyed the video. Do hit the like button if you did and subscribe to our channel for more videos like these. Thanks for watching and let us know what you think in the comment section below.